Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer, and my throat is sore, and I am also bitterly disappointed in the fact that I don't have my favorite juice next to me, and also the one that I do have, fortunately sitting on my desk, is hot rather than cold. Okay, it's not very hot per se, but it's not as cold as I would like it to be. Now, fortunately, it's from the same company that produces my favorite type of juice with minerals, vitamins, and all that good stuff that I don't really care about because the taste is all I care about. But it's, well, it's a different. What do we call it? Oh yeah, juice. Good job, Brain. Good job. And it's made from cacti. Well, cacti are kind of delicious. I guess there's no real doubt behind that. I mean, okay, cacti themselves might not be so delicious, but the juice is kind of neat. And I believe this is good. Hold on. I knew that there is an update to the game, but I didn't notice that one. What does it? Okay, it says 410s. I guess before I've done conquering this one. This is a neat update. Why didn't I check this before so I could talk about it with you? Well, I know why, because it's a middle of the night. I honestly had no intention of making this video cast, but since it has been requested for me to post more of this stuff, and I love you guys so much, and I love doing this so much, I decided to try and actually make this happen. So I didn't have time and or enough care resources per se to actually go and check the patches. I didn't notice that there was a patch, but apparently it was a big mistake by me because it's kind of neat and interesting as well, being able to actually predict how long it will take for you to conquer a system. I like that one a lot. Now, what I have been doing last time, as you may recall, is getting very near to the point where I have the research necessary for me to get a better ship. I also off camera queued up some more technology that would allow me to terraform a couple of planets to jungle planets. Now, the two best types of planets, aka jungle and ocean, differ in the way that jungles produce. Give me a second. I believe that jungle produces mostly industry and a lot of everything else, while ocean planets produce mostly science and a lot of everything else, because, well, those are the wealthiest, best classes of planets. I'm still not sure if, for example, jungle can produce more, what do we call it, production than lava? I'll have to check that one day. Then again, I'm promising myself to do so since Alpha and I still hadn't, so I guess my laziness is... Oh, this was something that we actually voted on games together, and apparently there we go, there is this ability for outfits to automatically explore the universe. Very nifty stuff that I actually voted against because there was something I felt like was more necessary, but still it's very cool regardless. So, wow, now I'm thrilled. What on earth what else did I miss that was actually kind of important? Okay, Shakuras and the Sun is above stagnated. One of those planets was supposed to be stagnated, but the other was not, so which one was which? Now, Shakuras, this is a nifty thing. It's newly implemented as well. Now I can see the planets. That's really cool. But that doesn't really help me because I cannot see if they are actually tiny or small. So how do I... Okay, I guess I'll just have to go in there to the old-fashioned way. Okay, small... barren, but unfortunately I already have all the necessary improvements for the plants to increase its population size, so there's nothing I can do about that one. How about, what is the other planet? Carvus? No. It's Tarsonius. Good thing I can read. Tarsonius, where is Tarsonius? Oh, there it is. I don't think I can do anything about that either. Not really. I do have endothermic upgrades, but it doesn't help on planets that are large and small, and all those planets qualified to that, so yeah, I guess there's not much I can do about that. I can, just for kicks, go for... never mind, I already have Dark Energy Drive for all of my most important systems. Man, I did a lot last time. And I did set up my timer, which I didn't this time. Hold on a second, let me just do it. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to set anything on my iPhone, I just want to set my timer. 34 minutes is just about right. It's gonna make this video cast a little bit longer than my usual video cast, but whatever. You like long video casts, I hope, because you're about to get one. Unless something horrible happens, my video gets cut off, a blue screen of death appears, or whatever else that the computer has installed for me. So yeah, okay, I have a new hero available at my empire. Please let it be governor. please, a governor. I'm not asking for anything else, just give me a governor. It's Caesar drone V35 and it's a perfectly good, actually it's the best hero I could have hoped for. I'm actually hiring him out blind because, let's have a quick look at this fella. He looks pretty neatly as well. Now, look at that. He is both a corporate and administrative, which means that he's both great in giving me wit and labor upgrades in the system and increasing its potential to the max. In all honesty, he's probably much better governor than any other hero I could think of, including this one, which is pretty cool. And there's not a lot of hero that has this kind of amazing combination, and well, I'm very happy by getting this guy. The only way it could get better if he had less melee and more wit and labor. However, then again, I'm not sure. Does melee increase the planetary defense if the hero is a governor? I'm not sure. Maybe it does in this. Yes, it does. I can see it right now. So I guess the melee is also important for protecting my assistants. In this case, it's a rounded perfect hero. I might have wanted him to have a little bit more wit than melee, but regardless, he's amazing. I have tempted to swap him for this guy in Zeros. However, just right now, Zeros is a better option for my home system, so I'm going to put this new guy in. Where should I put him? I think I'll put him on Iron. It's a pretty stable system that has a lot to it, and I think it's gonna be my secondary main system, so I might as well send this guy in here. Also, he's got a lot of melee, which will be kinda important and useful in this case. Now, the hero has been assigned, that's very nice. Some kind of research has been done, I have more tonnage on ships, and I have discovered Adamantium, which is kinda cool. Do I have it? Yes, I do. That's very nice. I'll be able to use it for whatever I desire. And yes, I know I have it. Thank you very much, game. There is a small enemy fleet that is about to fight my rather quite relatively bigger fleet. That's not an accurate statement and a half, but I don't really care because I'm not cool like that. See what I did there? I put the not, whatever. Now, we are gonna have our first battle in this videocast, which makes me very This is kinda awesome! Wow! Wow! I really love the way the developers put a lot of work into the game, even after release. They don't have it! I mean, we paid for the game, and as the popular phrase goes nowadays, we're not entitled to anything else but the game we got, right? And the developers could be like, just like, yeah, we made a significant profit, and I assume they did, because they are an indie tech company, this is their first game, and it's amazing. So I assume they did make a hell of a profit, at least I hope they did. So they could just wave their hand and go away with full pockets. Instead, they still keep posting us with their upgrades, and it gives me high hopes for amazing, what's the word for that? Expansion later on, maybe a couple of DLCs, stuff like that, which is, to be quite completely honest with you, amazing, and I really love those developers. Also, what is this? I guess this is a bug. Well, since we got a new patch, I guess we are going to have it. It's a little bit more annoying that I cannot actually delete this thing out of my screen. Yes, I went for manual, thank you game. Maybe it'll disappear next turn, at least I hope it will. Now, as you can see, cell phones are actually scanning the Amigas. I don't think anything will occur out of that, because quite honestly, cell phones and Amigas kinda like each other because they are both good factions, and they tend to go in a positive diplomatic relationships with each other, which is kinda logical, to be quite honest with you. Now, this hero is doing an amazing job in conquering Lahat, which is, I guess, some kind of, I don't know, I wanted to say something, but then just in the last second I realized this would be horribly racist, and if anything, I don't want to be racist. I mean, I can be racist if it's against the entire human race, but this would be only against a certain part of it, and that I do not accept. I don't accept discrimination in any way, shape or form within a certain area and to a certain degree. Yes, I know it's kind of shady, but I like it this way. This allows me to actually, you know, make up my own rules as I go and just ignore everybody else. Yes, I know, kinda not a nice thing to do, but I am afraid I'm like that. Years of being a dungeon master made me this way. No, seriously, being able to cheat on your friends and Not like that cheat, I mean cheat in game, whatever. And being able to actually screw them over pretty badly is always amazing, at least to me. Now, finally, I have non-Byronic shielding. This is going to be an exciting time for sure because I am to design my newest ship. Now, let me go to ship design and add a new design. And there it is. Dreadnought, my second favorite or my favorite, I still haven't really decided, ship that is available in endless space. Now the only contestant to that is the Dreadnought that the Amoebas have. As I said many times before, those two races have by far the best ship designs in the entire game, and it tells you something because this entire game is filled with fabulous designs. Now, however, this little birdie over there is amazing. It does remind me a lot of Atreides. This entire faction, it reminds me of Atreides a lot, which is yet another reason why I like it so much. Now, let me give it the name, and I also think about calling it Brulord or something like that. But you know what? Then, actually, I changed my mind right now, right in this very second. I wanted to call this ship Kerrigan, because it would be awesome. You know what would be even better? Awaken, my child, and hear to my awesomely manly voice that, unfortunately, some videocasters are not able to copy in any way, shape, or form. That probably includes me. So anyway, yes, it's gonna be Overmind, and he's gonna be epic, and he's got little cute eyes as well. Look at that! Oh, I'm melting. Oh, that's a lot of excitement coming in from a single person, aka me. Now, I'm kinda thinking about putting in some intelligent tools this time, but I will see how it goes. Actually, it wouldn't refute my strategy, so I think I'm not gonna put them in just for the sake of it. Now, let's see what gives me the most damage. This gives me more critical chance, but it doesn't allow me to get more minimal and maximum damage on weapons, and I care about this way more than anything else, even though my health goes way lower because of that. I honestly do not care. I'm also going to get triple defenses because, as I said, it's an amazing upgrade. That's why I got it. It gives me a huge amount of invasion power, and it's kind of amazing. I gotta give it that. Now, defense modules wise, what do I want and or what do I need? Dark Reflex is only a single layer of them. As I said, I don't perceive kinetics as too much of a problem issue because I expect to win with the enemy by the end of the long range phase or worst case scenario, medium range phase. If I don't win by then it probably means that I'm dead anyway, so I don't really need Dark Reflectors in any bigger quantity than that. So I think one is enough. I am going to suffer some damage from the kinetics, but not nearly enough for anybody to take out a Dreadnought. Let's be quite honest, this thing has a lot of HP. So that's one. Now the second thing I'm going to go is Quantum Damping, which actually I might invest a lot in by the amount of 5, because as I've seen, pretty much every race is going for lasers by now, which is kinda smart thing to do as they tend to deal a lot of damage. So I'm going to go for 5 of them and another 5 of dense plasma shields. Those are not nearly as effective as their shielding counterparts, but to be quite honest, I'm actually more afraid of lasers than I am of rockets. A little bit surprising, I know, but that's the fact. Lasers, I believe, are the most, not cost efficient, but quantity efficient weapon that you can get. I mean, the trade-off that you get in amount of salvos per salvo, rounds per salvo, that's what I wanted to say, and the weapon's accuracy as well as its critical multiplier, all that good stuff. Lasers are awesome. Rockets are terrifying, yes, but you can only fire them once per every turn. That's cool, don't get me wrong, it gives you some nice flexibility in your strategy, but I prefer those big toys much more spam, more let's kick spam! 30 is a perfectly good amount, thank you very much, Dark Energy Beam. Here I come, I can't wait to see it in action. And I'm ready to press create unless I can stick something more to this ship design. Apparently I can get one more dense plasma sheet, or instead I could get 25 HP ship. That's a difficult decision. No. I mean seriously, 25%, not percent, but HP on a ship. Look at the amount of HP I have. 25 is not making a difference whatsoever on this kind of ship. Now let's approve. get super excited for no reason. Actually, I believe that this is actually a perfectly valid, so get a Leviathan achievement. Actually, you know what this game needs? Achievements. Just calls. I don't really usually really care about achievements, but getting them is nice. Especially if they look nice. For example, a good example to good looking achievements would be a game like, I'm going to go back to it yet again, Unlock the History. It has really those cute achievements. I mean, the icons look so cute and adorable. I love it. And a game that doesn't have good looking achievement systems would be... I can think of one actually at the moment. That's probably because those achievements don't look nice in this game that I'm thinking about. So yeah. Now let's see what systems have the most production. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to unassign this hero if I can. Can I unassign you? No, I cannot. I have to wait a little bit more. That's bad, because I just realized I should have assigned him to Chaosar, as this is the system that would benefit much more from this hero being stationed in there. But too bad, the deed has already been done, and I'll have to live with it and just grab some more Overminds. Now, obviously, Overminds are going to tear through the enemy fleets like butter. They might go down relatively easy compared to other dreadnoughts, but regardless, they are going to pack a hell of a punch, and I don't expect anybody to come out from the fight with them on top. I mean, let's just think about this realistically. It's no ability, as simple as that. Now, the enemy will still have quite a significant fleet at my borders, but at this stage it's too late. Even if they invade me now, they're not gonna stop my first wave of Overminds to pop out. They might be able to stop the second one if their invasion is really huge, but I don't think that's the case, and by then I will already have my new main fleet, which is going to wreak some serious havoc. Also, I need to protect Isle from any intruders, so I'll pause the siege of Lahat, which I didn't even want to conquer anyway, and be ready to intercept the enemy fleet. So let me end the turn and drink the first sip of juice in this current videocast. Man, it's a heavy juice. This is a much bigger box than the other one. Actually, maybe it isn't bigger per se, but it looks much more bulky. Give me a second, I'm gonna take a sip. That's a nice juice. A really nice juice. I love it. I'm a little bit disappointed though. It tastes a little bit too much like apple juice and not enough like cacti juice. So, yeah, this company just lost a couple of points in my eyes. Still, however, because of their other amazing juice, I don't even care. I'm going to advertise them any day they want me to advertise them, which probably will not happen all that soon. Now, the suffers are coming in with the scatter fleet, but I'm afraid I will have to kill them regardless, because they would stop my exploitation of Shakuras, which I don't want to happen. Now, exotic thermodynamics have been researched. I don't care about that one, not one bit. So that's unfortunate. 4 Overminds are already ready. Can you say that? Already ready? No, I don't care. I just did. And I guess this allows me to start creating my new main fleet, which is gonna be awesome and completely obliterate the remainings of Horatio resistance. Not like I actually need the support with Horatio. I'm pretty sure that they are about to die. They are dying breed, let's be honest about that. However, I will need the extra firepower in order to survive a probable attack from pretty much everybody else. Let's just be honest, I'm at Eternal War, that's my faction trait. I have to prepare for the worst. Count for the best, prepare for the worst. One of my favorite lines from the Bourne Ultimatum. Was that the movie they said it in? I know it was in the band, but was it the one? I think it was Ultimatum. Now, I do want to increase my trade route bonus side, because I believe this will give me access to additional trade routes in the system. And it did! It didn't. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Not at all. Now, having that out of the way, man, this was a waste of hero ability. Let's just stay in Isle, keep defending it. After my Overminds get assembled in Koho, I'm going to send them to Isle, swap them out with my main fleet, and send to Lahat. All stay in Isle depending which place is more of a hotspot. Let me end the turn now. Next turn, I'm probably going to take a look at all the stats that are displayed on the top of the screen, and I'll explain to you why. Because right now, we are in something that I would call an end game. Not end game, late game. We are not yet in the end game, per se, but we definitely are in the late game. There's no denying about that. I already have dreadnoughts, I have a lot of my technologies unlocked, there's probably not a single planet left uncolonized in the entire galaxy. It's definitely a late game, so yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say. And now the other thing that is also relatively important that I wanted to talk about while I'm going to annihilate this fleet. Or not, it's actually just a single ship. Well, it is about time to actually start checking the victory progress of your enemies at this point. Now, usually you can't win the game automatically via any victory conditions except maybe conquest before the end game, unless you're one of the 3 very specific factions that I'm going to talk about in just a second, actually right now. Now, let me first, however, see the stats. I'm the second right before the Sophons in terms of space status score. That doesn't tell me much except for the fact that I indeed superior to most of my enemies, seeing that their score is pretty perfectly compared to mine, Sophons and Amoebas. Now let's have a look at that. I'm making a lot of money. I'm first in terms of fields, which yet again it stands for food, industry, dust and science. And I'm at 3% economic victory, far away in terms of winning the game in that terms. Now I am surprisingly enough first in terms of knowledge, which means that I have actually beaten Sophons and know for a fact that right now I'm making more science than they do. Now I don't know for how long this is gonna stay this way, but it kinda gives me a moment of rest and peace. I know I don't have to be so terrified of them as I was just a second ago. Now, in terms of military, I'm at 2nd in my overall strength, but only at 7th in terms of the amount of ships I control. This is fine because, as I said, I prefer to Spartan it up rather than just keep sending weak fleets at my opponent that he'll just be able to just wipe out one by just doing it off again, losing no HP on his ships. Diplomatic victory is probably not an ability. For some reason I have 3% even though I have no allies. I guess it is actually possible to win a diplomatic victory without any friends. Then again, it might not really be a possibility. I don't think it is, to be quite honest. And where's my new fleet? Oh yeah, it's on its way, that's fine. Now, the thing that is important and that you need to take into consideration is that there are 3 races that are likely to actually be able to win the game in late game before other races are able to do this in the end game. The first race and the least likely to do so is actually the United Empire. They can win in late game via the use of the economy. What's it called? Economy victory. Yeah, that's right. I actually won once via this method, not as United Empire, but still it happened regardless, so it is actually a possibility. Relatively difficult, but a possibility that you need to take into consideration. Now, the United Empire is kind of favored in terms of that because they have a lot of dust production, and they can use it to a full production in order to actually beat every other faction to the victory condition and win before anybody even expects that to happen. How possible is this? Not really, because even United Empire with all its amazing dust production cannot actually save all that money without the fear of being wiped out by a military that is simply better funded, because you need to be savvy in order to achieve this kind of victory, which is usually not a possibility until the end game, even if you are on the United Empire. This is, however, a possibility, so you have to watch out for United Empire allies or enemies, regardless. Now, the second race that is able to win the game before the end game are the Sophons, and I demonstrated it with my last playthrough. They can win the game in the late game by achieving the Wonder Victory. With their amazing production and no need to worry about the food industry, they can pretty much spam those wonders in a matter of no time. I demonstrated this, as I said, in my last playthrough, and it is pretty much a possibility for them to just go straight for the Endless Empire and beat everyone else to it, winning the game for themselves without anybody actually expecting that to happen. How valuable is this? Media core. It can happen, doesn't necessarily have to, it all depends from the amount of pressure that has been put on the Sowers. As you can see, this time Sowers definitely couldn't do so because I completely annihilated them very, very quickly indeed. Now the third and final race that is most likely to win the game in the late game rather than end game are Sophons, and that's why I'm so very afraid of those guys right there, the blue ones. They can go for scientific victory. That's why I usually tend to keep checking the scientific status every turn in the late game, because all of a sudden you might notice that there is actually a player that it has begun his research of what it's called, of Pangenetic Society, which automatically wins the game for you. Sophons are actually very likely to do that in late game. If they are given enough breathing room, they can succeed in this with relative ease. This is a very viable strategy for every Sophon player, and definitely one that you should actually aim for if you're playing Sophons. Don't get me wrong, you can win in other ways, but this one is probably one of the most efficient ones, and definitely the one that everybody else is most terrified about, because it's really difficult to counter this kind of enemy that has just such a big scientific advantage. Now, if at any point I notice that there is a scientific victory status, percent, whatever, at this panel, what I'm going to do is launch a full assault at every single planet that the Sophons control, even if it would cost me quite a bit of my own systems and losing a war to Horatio, and maybe even them regaining some of their old planets. Hopefully not this one. I will probably try to defend at all costs. Now, why would I do that? Remember that the system that is under siege, unless they changed it in the patch, doesn't produce any science. With no science, you cannot achieve the scientific victory. As simple as that. This move, however, is a very risky one. You can easily lose everything you've been able to achieve so far in a matter of seconds if you don't perform it right. You have to keep in mind the fact that the Sophons are also probably better suited for what they knew. They might have a smaller fleet, but with that technology, it actually doesn't really matter, because they probably have the bigger ships that also hit harder than yours, and possibly have more of ships in a single fleet than you do. Even if they don't, you still have to take the superior technology into consideration, and mark my words, even though they are scientifically oriented race, they can still produce a lot of ships. So don't think that you only have to face one puny fleet. That's not the case. The Sophons are pretty much able to defend themselves very, very well, regardless of all their negative faction traits, which I actually don't really remember. Let me just double check what they are, because I'm kind of curious. And let's have a quick look. What are Feeble Warriors? It gives them -% on system, and then Skilled Builders. Now this only makes my strategy even better, because Feeble Warriors means that when you are actually going in all out, trying to stop the Sophons from achieving the scientific victory, which I'm checking for right now, it means that you are actually in a much better position trying to conquer the Sophon systems, which might actually keep you in the game in a situation when another race is in the meantime conquering your homeworld. This is kind of a trade-off scenario that usually doesn't end good, but it might be your last hope for survival if the Sophons rush for this kind of game victory condition. Now you can of course try and go for a different victory condition yourself. This, however, can sometimes simply not work. For example, well, it can work if you're playing as Cravers or Horatio or Zerg, as I am at the moment. If you have a significant fleet and quite a lot of systems already captured, you may ignore Sophons and just try to capture every single planet you can see that is relatively undefended, hoping you could get an what is it called? An expansion and or supremacy victory. It is possible, but it requires a really, really big fleet that you're most likely not gonna have in the late game. By end game, sure, but that's not the state of the game we're talking about. Now, the other options for you to actually beat Sophons, well, you could, I'm gonna take a participation in this battle just because I haven't seen a battle in quite a long time. You could obviously try to go for another victory condition, but honestly, what else is left for you? Wonder victory? If you're not a Sower, you're not gonna get it before the Sophons get the scientific victory. economic victory. That's not gonna happen even if you play as United Emperor. If you manage to pull it off, I'm gonna give you a handshake, assuming you actually fly to Poland. And any other victory type that I can think of? Not really. I still haven't figured out how the diplomatic victory works. Yeah, that's kind of funny. It's the only victory type I have never achieved myself. I have no idea how to get it, I have no idea how it works. So it may be viable, but I don't really think so, considering that I've never seen it and I played a lot of Endless Space, as you are probably well aware. So pretty much, as I said, you have to keep a keen eye on sophomores. The best thing that you can count for is simply not allowing them to get into the stage when they can go on a scientific victory. This can be achieved by multiple means. For example, you can either harass the sophomores yourself, trying to keep them at it, or simply not giving the time and focus to get the knowledge necessary for this type of victory, forcing them to go into military tech, or if you are into this kind of thing, you can make other ways do the same for you, which I usually prefer, unless obviously you're at Eternal War like I am right now. Now, I'm going to go for indifferent structures in the system, that's a topic change by the way, because it's almost maxed out on population and I don't want my whole system to stagnate at any point of time. Now, let's have a quick look. This fleet is still not filled up. Why can't I move? Oh yes, that's because I have no movement left on those ships. That's understandable, I guess. Now, what I wanted to do before I started my ride, I have no idea. It was actually quite enjoyable to just keep talking about Endless Space metagame, and it felt good. It felt like I'm actually doing something more than just stating the obvious facts that you see on your own eyes. It feels like I actually taught you something about the metagame itself, and I felt it felt really good. Even if it's a lie, actually, and if you already knew that, or if it's... Well, it is actually true, so I don't believe I have been misinforming you, but you probably already know that for yourself, especially if you keep watching those videos. Nevertheless, it felt good, and I gotta stand by that statement. Negative mass mechanics gives me a hell lot of more movement speed, and that's precisely what I want, because this allows me to quickly transfer my fleet if the amoebas decide to attack, which is a possibility. Not a likely one, fortunately, because they are pacifists, but still possibility nevertheless. Let me create another big fleet and send it to Ire in a second. Actually, to Kovos. I want to test them out my new toys. So does the enemy have any other fleets than that? No, they have to use their bigger fleet because it's the only one in the system. So it's about time we test my new Overminds. Attack and leave no one behind, show no mercy, it delivers out of your opponents. Oh yes, it's gonna be a delicious feasty bloodbath you're about to have. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this a lot. I don't believe Alito has my firepower by any means. Look at that, the enemy has a big fleet, I have only 4 ships. But you know what, I think I'm in a much better situation than they are. And look at the amount of shinies that I am sending the enemy's way. They went for that strategy. Poor decision, because they have even less defense by now, and I'll take them one by one. The sheer amount of firepower and the rain that I'm spraying on my opponents is just unimaginable to my already so-called friends, and I didn't even take a single point of damage, regardless of the fact of how puny my defenses are on those ships. Dreadnoughts are amazing, and my Overminds are even more amazing. Now said, I believe the Horatio RDED dead, I cannot see them surviving this one. Oh, excuse me, I lost 3 HP. I believe you have a problem there, Commander. Maybe we should consider or something. Yeah. Not really, no. Now, some stuff has been finished on Coho, and actually it's stagnating, so I believe it's about time we colonize the Toxic Baron. The people are gonna hate me for that, but I'm going to improve it soon enough so they will not mind it all too much. Charles Sarah has also finished the construction of Overminds, but actually cannot make it unstagnate, so I guess it's just gonna stay on this position for quite some time. I am, however, going to convert my industry into... Can I rotate my view? No, I cannot. into science. For a second I thought that this planetary station is actually orbiting the moon, but it doesn't seem like it's the case, it just looked this way. Now, all of this stuff has been finished doing. That's not a proper English at all, but fortunately I don't care. A single Overmind is ready at Koho, a bunch more are gonna join him in just a second. Now there is one in this hangar, if my calculations are correct, as every single character in a Star Trek movie tends to say for the reason this is the other thing I pretty much hate about Star Treks. I mean, seriously, every time somebody says, if my calculations are correct, when in fact they're just prejudging without even thinking about anything. I mean, seriously, in the newest movie, the Star Trek movie, that, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed, I really did. But seriously, 17-year-old says, if my calculations are correct, there's a black hole in the center of this planet. What did you tell that? Oh, there's a big flashing icon on my screen that says black hole detected in the center of the planet, so I thought I would calculate that into my brain somehow and think myself a cool person that is actually capable of being a part of the Enterprise. Seriously, dude, seriously, that is not even funny. Well, having that out of the way, I still do enjoy Star Trek by quite a lot, and I'm gonna... What just happened over there? That's strange. Actually, no, I want auto battle because they deserve my attention, whatever. You're gonna see a little bit more of Ultra Risks yet again. I guess it's about time for them to retire. Then again, I like faithful servants. I might let them stay, if they pay me taxes. No, actually at this stage I would actually probably have to pay them. But maybe I could create a special tax for war heroes that are retired, that makes them have not only no retirement funds, but also makes them pay me for every second of their living. Kinda cool, I know, but well, I have to afford my, well, futuristic Lamborghini that can actually fly through black holes and win a race with Han Solo or something. So yeah, I guess it's their problem, is it? Also, there was something else I wanted to talk about this video, guys, but actually things have been going so amazingly well, I even forgot about that. Oh yes, I remember. There has been actually quite a bit of talking about my book, and I'm very happy about that. I really love the hype that I'm receiving, even if it's not deserved. I still don't know if it's deserved. We're gonna see it after I publish the book and if it's well accepted or not. Still, regardless, I'm very thankful for that. I am, however, unwilling to share too many details about it just yet. I want it to be published first, then I'm gonna answer all your questions if you will still have any about this, my newest book, about my past books, so on and so forth. For now, I just wanna focus on, well, making my book published. I'm doing fairly well in terms of internal editing. Sounds very cool. I once wanted to say that. It makes you feel like a game developer. Internal editing, external testing, closed reading sessions. Amazing fancy schmancy words that I use on daily basis even though I don't need to do so, it just makes me feel important. Yeah, it's cool, it really is. Still, as soon as I finish editing my book, which hopefully will happen soon, then I'm just going to send it to my, hopefully, what is going to be a future publisher, and there goes my timer, but I will talk for a little bit more. Now then I'm probably going to have to wait for a month and pray that the publisher actually reads what I send him, rather than just throwing it into a bin right away. Yeah, I know how it sounds, but it actually is kinda-ish how it goes in the book industry. Publishers tend to do that. Okay, maybe not tend to do that, but having an honest chance of somebody actually paying attention to your work, reading it, and giving it a fair chance is so ridiculously difficult. I believe it's even easier to be a famous, good musician from Poland performing in Poland. Actually, never mind, I just said of something that is an impossibility. I'm yet to find a Polish musician that is both good and famous. And if you are a good and famous musician, then you lie to yourself, bro. You're bad and or you're not famous. That's just how we go. How it goes. I'm sorry, we don't have too many good musicians. We don't have good musicians at all, I would say. If not for the fact that Riverside, from what I know, is actually a band of guys that come from Poland. They simply, well, they don't perform in Poland, they don't sing in Polish, they don't do any of this stuff. So, how cool, now we can see some kind of effects on asteroids. It's not a lot, but it's still effects, nevertheless, so I really liked it a lot. Anyway, talking about Riverside, I believe that one of the reasons why they're actually doing well... Oh, I don't have solo verification, this is a problem. But anyway, the reason why they're doing so well is probably because they cut off from the Polish origin. It's just a sad thing to say, but regardless, it's true. So, yeah, I love my nation above all others. Maybe Korea in the future, but just that yet I'm still not Korean as of this moment. It might change in the future. For now, I still love Poland simply way more because I know it better, right? But I simply would love so much for our nation to care about people with talent. I mean, right now, if you're a talented young person, then yeah, that's great for you. And if you don't get some kind of amazing education in some kind of industry branch, economics, stuff like that, you're not gonna get anywhere with your talent. Unless you're really, really extraordinarily lucky. Even I'm not counting for it, and I'm a writer. Because it's extraordinarily difficult to make a living out of that. And nobody really looks out for you. No, actually not looks out, seeks out for you. In countries like South Korea or America or many others, what I love about them is the fact that people tend to try and... Interesting? But no. Is that they are just hunting for talented young people with so much vigor and passion that it's undeniable to me. It feels like if you have talent in anything and you live in South Korea, then you will be able to present it to the world. You will have a fair chance in developing in that very specific talent of yours. You will actually be able to make a living out of it and live the life you want to, not the life that you're forced to live. It's amazing and it's beautiful, and it's something we lack in Poland. I have quite a few friends that are extraordinarily talented, especially few of my friends that are also females are exceptionally good singers. I mean, you'd have to listen to them. They're amazing. If you would listen to them for 1 second, you'd melt. And you wouldn't believe that they are not actually stars. They deserve to be stars. They are very, very good at what they do, and they sing. Except they are not getting paid for it, and there's no chance for them to ever get paid for it, because nobody cares. Nobody seeks out for them, nobody tries to find them, because this market is pretty much dead in our country, and it doesn't look like it's gonna improve soon. If however, well, this looks like this planet is sick, to be honest. I want to help it. Wow. Whoa, I have the chills. It's really, really scary. I don't want to look at it. I'm gonna look away. Whew. Whoa, that was so disturbing. Anyway, and yeah, whatever I was talking about, I know what I was talking about. I'm trying to think about what I wanted to say next. That's the problem. And I don't really know the answer to that question, which is yet another problem that I will have to deal with. Actually, hold on, I do have... No, you know what, I'm gonna leave those Overminds near the border of Amoebas because I don't really trust them. They're cool little fellas, they are my favorite or second favorite faction, I still haven't decided yet. But they're kinda scary, to be honest, as well, so I will have to watch out for them. I also decrease my tax rate because I want my Emperor approval to be fervent. I will lose a lot of money this way though. Still, I have saved up so much I can just ignore it just for the time being, which will be fine. Now, I'm not making any more Overminds. No? Good, because I don't want to get bankrupt too soon. I am gonna send my ships into Gross, try to conquer it. That's the control button, I guess. Yes, it is. Now I'm flying through the multi-space, which looks amazingly awesome and fabulous as well. I'm gonna keep my fleet in Lahat for a little bit more longer, make sure it's well protected, then I'm probably going to actually move to this system. Then again, I might not want this to happen because I have a feeling it's an amoeba system, and if I do so, they'll declare war on me. I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to do that. You know, if I'm ready to face them, especially because finishing off Horatio will evoke a bitter anger in Sophos that will all of a sudden have actually a reason to fight me. Right now they have a reason to fight Horatio, not me, and I don't want this to change too soon. Now, the Science has finished yet another Overmind? I guess I already took care of that. Yes, I did. Okay, I guess we're ready to go into the next stand. End the turn. And oh, I was supposed to end this video because, oh man, I don't want to split it. I may have to. So I'll say my outro outside. Outside? I have no idea what this means. So, it was PANCZASU, the mighty mix power. If you somehow managed to enjoy my videocast, which actually I believe went quite well, I hope that your feelings are the same as mine, then please like it and possibly even subscribe to my channel. I have only a single one. Also, it would be extraordinarily great if you would dare to comment below my video. I am not always able to respond to every single one of them. That's because YouTube is kinda buggy and I not always am notified of those comments, but I try to check out on them as often as I can, and reading them really gives me a lot of joy. So please do consider commenting on this video. Yet again, thank you for watching and I will see you online.